Hi everyone. So it's a pretty rowdy situation here, and I really just want to start this video by saying thank you so much to the Jamaican Coast Guard, particularly Able Seaman Grant, who checks up on me nearly 3 times a day, and he's the gentleman that you would have seen in the videos previously that brought some groceries to me and has helped out a lot of the other sailors here. I should start really by saying what's kind of compelled me to make this video this morning is that the situation's not getting any better, and I think that's fair to say internationally. But I mean in so much as we were pushed away yesterday, or we were essentially bullied away by the police, or as there was an attempt. As you saw from my previous video, I was kind of trying to figure out a passage plan and where the hell I'm going to go. But I quickly got in contact with some friends who advised me that actually under international law, I believe it's United Nations actually is responsible for this one, that we're allowed safe passage, safe harbour essentially it's called. And so therefore we're actually allowed to seek fuel and groceries and repairs for us to continue on, or essentially do whatever we want, as long as we're not coming ashore and don't breach those terms. Then we should essentially be allowed to anchor here. But there's been numerous attempts in order to get rid of us. The first one being this document was kind of thrown in our face, and it was amended to include the quarantine order, it says, but we're obviously not on shore. And it was amended to include a 21-day quarantine period. And at the bottom of it, I'll read it to you. It says, if you fail to comply with these control measures, you shall be guilty of an offence and shall be liable to summary conviction before a resident magistrate, to a fine, or to imprisonment with hard labour, or to both such fine and imprisonment. And then on the form, there's some tick boxes, and that I have to record my temperature, which is fine. But the point is that until now that I've got a SIM card, it was going to be very difficult for me to call in to the registered nurse. So it would be very foolish for me to sign this document and hand it back if I couldn't contact the nurse. And also, according to the law, which is presumably the purpose of this document, that even if the nurse didn't answer the telephone, I'd be liable to be put in prison. So yeah, that was not very desirable, but so I simply amended the document to include what I understand is the quarantine period. And actually I emailed the Ministry of Health here in Jamaica to clarify what the situation actually is as far as quarantine, and they confirmed to me in writing that it's 14 days. So so it's pretty mad, and I've also woken up this morning to find out that that actually now I'm famous, and so the other boats here in the harbour, but particularly a picture of me in the Jamaican Observer. I'll put a link in the description so you can add your own comments or just see the article if you're remotely interested. But yeah, essentially it's quite interesting to see the polar opposite views of what people are saying, and I have to say I think the sentiment is actually a lot more measured than it would be in the UK. But anyway, I'll let you guys form your own opinions on that one. But I do kind of urge you to have a look at the comments section. The other thing, which is a bit of a problem for all of us here under anchor, is that we've got trash, and I presume that's going to be a problem. Going on further, we've made numerous attempts to see if somebody can help us with it, but you know, I can kind of understand the situation. Nobody wants to deal with anybody's trash. We thought that maybe now that we have officially exited the quarantine period as far as the law goes, that we could maybe sort out our trash tomorrow. But as of yesterday, when we were essentially, as you'll see in the article, which has some truth, by the way, in the Jamaican Observer, that they've essentially admitted that they broke international law and forced some boats to leave. So there were 3 guys, one of which was actually a solo sailor going to. I just asked him as he passed me by, what are you going to do? And he said he's going to Panama. So anyway, yeah, it's a lot of craziness out there. But so I've had some time now that I've got some data, and I've been looking at the World Health Organization guidelines, and the situation report, the most recent one, suggests that 14 days should be adequate for quarantine. There is some speculation as to 21 days, and if you read further in the situation report, that is as a result of most likely double infection. So yeah, either which way, as a medical doctor, I think the incubation period, I understand, is 10 days. And that means that that's the period at which you could possibly pass on the virus to someone else. So yeah, I'm kind of in a situation where I'm kind of in limbo, and at the moment, occasionally we seem to be able to get some groceries, and obviously I'm under anchor here, and yeah, it's pretty calm. But yeah, the loneliness and seclusion is obviously pretty hard for everybody internationally. But yeah, it's pretty tough when even under anchor we're told that we can't communicate with each other, which is not working obviously, because we've got WhatsApp now, and we've got VHFs on board. But yeah, I've also learned something else today, which is that unless you have 1,000 subscribers, you can't go live on YouTube. So hit the subscribe button if you can, or if you feel like it, but that'd be great, so that I can actually do live stream while I've got the time to do it. And I'd like to know what you folks all think of the situation, and what do you think you would do in my situation. So yeah, try and leave the comments, and I've got the time to answer any questions now. And of course, as always, you can contact me directly on Instagram on Carry On Sailing. Best wishes to you all.